Welcome to this episode of Locked In. In this episode, I'm going to be showing you my Kaiventure custom Maglock Kaddy. This is an awesome STEM accessory bag that you can have on any of your bikes to conveniently carry an assortment of items with a convenient magnet lock. So if you're interested in a bag like this, please stay tuned. So what I'm going to be talking about in this video is the specs and features of this bag, how to mount it, price and options, and my final thoughts. So the initial specs of this bag, this is the Maglock Kaddy, again from Kaiventure Bags. I will be linking their website in the description below so you can easily order one of these for yourself. They do offer this in a custom and a standard style with a plethora of options. As you can see here, this is going to be my custom purple with the splatter paint job that you've seen in all of the Kaiventure bags I've reviewed so far. Links for that playlist is in the description as well. And I've been loving their products. They are handmade in California. And I really love Kai's thought process when he designs a bag in general. So the really great thing about this bag, because it's a little different than some others on the market, is honestly the shape. Being a square style shaped bag, it does carry a lot of your electronics a lot easier so they're not rolling around and you get a nice tight fit. But let's get into what you can spec this with. Now the material for the outside, you can spec a Cordura, which this is spec'd out of, or an X-Pack material. For the liner, you can spec X-Pack or a 400D ripstop, and they're gonna be a plethora of colors in all of those options. They do have this as a standard size, but you can spec a custom size as well if you need a little bit more volume in this style of bag. And then they have an easy, quick option menu to spec out everything on this bag, from the primary color to the stitching, the left side option to the right, and much, much more. So you really can design this to be a perfect match for the current bike or the future bike that you're building. Now let's get on installation. This is gonna install in 3 easy points. You're gonna get your cord that's gonna mount under your frame, your 2 loops that you can mount on either side, and position these accordingly. So you have the option to go in the left or the right of the bag in 2 different positions. So if you're either running dual bags or depending on stem length or just ideal position for this bag, you can adjust that with the loops that are included all around the top of the bag. Then you can use these easy loops on the bottom, left or right, to run this cord under. So as you can see here, usually how I install it is I'll wrap it around the handlebars first with that Velcro, then I will wrap it around the stem. These are gonna come a little bit long initially, but you can cut them down to the size of your handlebars and stem. Then you're gonna take your power cord, wrap it underneath the fork, through the loop, and tie it off. Then you're gonna use the little clip at the end to adjust your tension to get it nice and snug. Now this bag is very secure. I've ridden it on tons of gravel roads and I really love the security of it, and it doesn't really bounce around much, and that's why I like the elasticity for that cord on the bottom to help absorb some of that shock. Now let's get on to price. This bag is gonna start at $70. Depending on your custom options, it's gonna go up from there. Kaiventure bags are very reasonable with their custom options. You can easily talk to them and update that price depending on what you want to do, if it's a different size, color, or spec that you want to run compared to this. And now let's get into what I typically will carry in this bag, what fits really well. Now in this standard size bag, typically what I'll carry on most rides, if I'm just running a t-shirt ride with shorts, is I will put my cell phone in there. It easily fits an iPhone, as well as a couple of bars, or possibly a vest and some gloves. I can easily fit a handful of items in there. If I have those items on my person or in a jersey, I can easily stuff my A5000 camera with a short pancake lens on there. It is a little snug. If I was gonna redo this again, I might make it a little bit bigger so that I can fit it in there easier. But at the end of the day, I actually like how kind of snug or tight it is, because that camera does not move around once it's inside the bag. So I'm not worried about it getting damaged when riding. You can easily stuff a handful of other options in there. You could put a full-blown burrito in here. You can put a water. They even recommend a tall can if you leave the lid open. And with the magnet style strap, it easily almost kind of self-locks once you lock it down. And with this really thick double layered lid, I really like that because it adds more weight to the top to where the lid wants to fall on its own, especially when you're riding around. And it basically almost self-finds itself. There's very few times where I have to actually grab it and lock it myself to find the hole for the magnet to sit in. And they have a elongated piece on the end of the mag lock so that it's easy to grab and you're not actually touching the magnet itself to easily find that. You have your 2 mesh pockets on the side, which I will easily stuff a gel or trash after I eat a gel into there, or my knife as well if I want to carry that with me. So there's a bunch of different options and things you can carry in here, as well as I easily can carry my GoPro with a small selfie stick, my other point and shoot camera, and a bunch of other different things. So really, it's just up to your imagination on what you can carry in this bag. So now into my final thoughts. I really like this bag. I think it's great for the aspiring cycling photographer out there that wants to carry their point and shoot around. If you are going to be doing a mirrorless camera with a slightly bigger lens, you might want to look at a different bag from them, or their handlebar bag, or if you do have a Sony mirrorless or something of the similar size with another pancake lens, I would spec out a custom bag to elongate that bag in a certain dimension that works for your lens setup. So keep that in mind if you're really going to do that kind of specific camera setup. Really just measure it so that you can spec the inside of the bag to match. Besides that, it's great. The mounting options are plentiful. It works with their whole ecosystem, so you can actually run that strap through their handlebar bag to double secure your handlebar bag and Maglock Kaddy. So if you're doing some bike packing or really aggressive riding, everything interlocks together, which I think is totally genius on Kaiventure's part, so that everything is essentially an ecosystem that all melts together, and I really enjoy that about that bag. Lastly, it's the best looking thing. I think it makes my bike look killer, and all their bags and aesthetics, depending on the bike setup you're running, you can really customize it and make these bags look truly unique to your bike, and I really love that aspect. And it's handmade in California, in the United States, by some great individuals, so I always like supporting local business when I can. So I hope you like this episode. If you guys have any questions or want to see any other reviews from Kaiventures, remember the playlist is in the description below. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel, turn notifications on so you can see my weekly cycling content I produce for this channel, as well as you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Links are in the description below. And thanks for watching another episode of Locked In.
Let's get locked in today. Like tutorials and quick and fix tips. Let's get locked in.